afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of RotoBaller Radio's Fantasy Football Waiver Wire Series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano, and I'm going to be with you all season long, taking a look at the waiver wire each and every week for your Fantasy Football League. Guys, don't forget to win big in 2021 with RotoBaller.com's NFL Premium Pass. Are you ready to dominate your season long in DFS leagues? RotoBaller NFL's Premium Pass and Draft Kit includes rankings, projections, and cheat sheets for all formats. Get exclusive draft articles, DFS tools, lineup optimizers, and premium Slack chats. Join in on the winning and take 50% off any premium pass. Use the promo code ACES and for another 10% discount. Go to rotoballer.com/radio, sign up today, and start rotoballing like a boss. All right, everybody. Each and every week of the fantasy football season, I'll be coming at you with 3 videos hitting up the waiver wire. The first one right here, the running back waiver wire for the week 1 of the fantasy football season. You've completed your draft. You've looked at your team. Maybe you drafted early, very early. Had a Cam Akers situation. Or you drafted more recently like I did. The traditional with my friends in the backyard, beer, pizza, and all that fun stuff. And you drafted J.K. Dobbins in the 3rd round. So here we are in a situation where we have to dive in on the waiver wire. Maybe you missed out on a handcuffed backup player, somebody to help out in case your starter get injured. So we have a few players. As always, I use the Yahoo system here for my percentages. I try to keep it at least on the 50% rostered. And that leads me to Philip Lindsay as the first running back to mention today. Now, I do expect his rostership to go up between now and kickoff a week from Sunday. But right now, let's talk about it. 51% rostered is Lindsay. And no shock to anybody in the fantasy football world if he is eventually the number 1 running back for the Houston Texans. In fact, already at the top of the depth chart. Now, there's no denying the mess of the situation. David Johnson is still there. Mark Ingram is there. But both of those players have shown nothing but decline in recent years, just been unable to withstand a season-long grind. Now, Philip Lindsay last season was injured, played in 11 games, started 8, still averaged 4.3 yards per carry, 7 receptions, 28 yards, did rush for only 1 touchdown, had 502 rushing yards. And we know what he was able to do his first 2 seasons in the league, 2018, 2019, averaged 5 yards per carry, had over 2,000 combined yards. Each for those 2 seasons, 1,000+ yards each year. And Philip Lindsay does have the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield with 35 receptions, both 2018 and 2019. Lindsay has the ability to be a 3-down back. Last season was lost by injury. Denver brought in Melvin Gordon. That move never made sense to me or a lot of other people. And now Denver's already trying to move on from Melvin Gordon with the rookie Javonte Williams. They had a rookie young running back who could do the job, and they thought they could find something better and are already backpedaling off of that. Nonetheless, Philip Lindsay's rare in Houston. I know it's a mess of a situation, but it is a long season. And if you get Philip Lindsay off a waiver wire before week 1 starts for significantly less than you will when he's after a game where he goes for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns, you are going to appreciate it. I've drafted him in as many formats as possible. Second running back on my list today is Alexander Mattison. Dalvin Cook, been healthy. He's the number 2 pick in the draft. Mattison sits at about 40% rostered, but it should be higher. Because if Dalvin Cook gets injured, you do not want to have to spend a ton of fab on picking up Alexander Mattison. Whether you have Dalvin Cook on your team or you don't, Alexander Mattison immediately becomes a start if something were to happen to Dalvin Cook. Last season, 434 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. He had 3 total touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air. In 2019, he was 4.6 yards per carry. When on the field, he is able to produce. In 2 starts last season for the Minnesota Vikings, 31 carries. So Minnesota is not afraid to give him the work if he is the guy for the Minnesota Vikings. One of those 2 starts, he had a monster game. I think he had over 100 yards. Second game wasn't as strong. But the point being, Minnesota is willing to give him 15 to 20 touches when he is in the starting lineup for Dalvin Cook. Up next, Tyson Williams of the Baltimore Ravens, the rookie who's come out of nowhere, who now has a role potentially with the Ravens with the J.K. Dobbins injury. Obviously, Gus Edwards is going to be the guy, and there's still the Lamar Jackson situation where he may very well become the primary runner for the Baltimore Ravens. But Tyson Williams out of BYU, 28% rostered, averaged 5.4 yards per carry this summer in 3 preseason games. Okay, he has surpassed Justice Hill as Gus Edwards' number 2. Now, if you think back to last season and the Baltimore Ravens, they were able to make both Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins fantasy usable. I oftentimes, if anybody heard me on SiriusXM, said Gus Edwards, it was a playable flex play during bye weeks due to injury and depending upon the Ravens matchup. Gus Edwards was giving people 12-point games out of that flex position. Tyson Williams, even with Gus Edwards healthy, could be in that same position if Baltimore commits to the run like they have in the past. Okay? 22-yard long this summer. And like we said, 5.4 yards per carry in 3 preseason games. Up next, my favorite waiver ad of the summer of week 1. Rhamondre Stevenson of the New England Patriots. I drafted him as often as I could. I had a draft the other night, and I was actually skunked on it. Somebody got him 1 pick before me. Who would have thought 2 months ago I would be upset in round 10 or round 11 getting blocked on Rhamondre Stevenson? But that's how I feel about the rookie for the New England Patriots. 24% roster. He led all running backs in rushing in 3 preseason games with 216 rushing yards. He averaged 7.2 yards per carry this summer for the Patriots. And this is the number I love, 5 rushing touchdowns in 3 games. He averaged 72 yards a game, had 30 carries this summer. The Rams now have Sony Michel. The Patriots sent him there. Okay, Rhamondre Stevenson is in a terrific spot to have impact for the Patriots if Damian Harris struggles, if they decide. Listen, this is the Patriots. We've seen games where it's been Damian Harris, Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead, James White. Bill Belichick is never a fan of your fantasy draft. We know this, okay? But Rhamondre Stevenson should have a role as the season goes on for the Patriots in the backfield. I know Damian Harris has moved up the draft boards. Rhamondre Stevenson should be on your draft board as well. If he's not right now, only 24% rostered on Yahoo. I love him as a waiver ad if your league has already completed their draft. And finally, the New York Jets backfield. Another 3-headed monster situation. But I think who's going to be a big share of that timeshare is Ty Johnson. And he's the guy not getting drafted. In the SiriusXM Host League, 16 rounds, I was able to draft Ty Johnson in round 15. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody's drafting Michael Carter. Where everybody loves the rookie's upside, no denying that. His ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. But his price tag has been high this draft season. Ty Johnson is in line for as many touches as Tevin Coleman and Michael Carter is. Okay, 254 yards last year, 4.7 yards per carry. In 2019, as a rookie for the Detroit Lions, it was 4.3 yards per carry. Ty Johnson quite possibly can be and possibly will be the most effective running back in the Jets backfield this year. 21 targets, 16 receptions last season as well for the Jets. He remains a big key in that Jets backfield. It's the old saying, right? If you don't have a Christian McCaffrey, if you don't have a Dalvin Cook or an Ezekiel Elliott, that workhorse running back, then what you do is you get talented backs and you spread out the wealth. That's the situation the Jets are potentially looking at, and people are sleeping on Ty Johnson's role with the Jets. I'm not saying he's a starter. I'm not saying he's your running back 2, but he should be on your roster. He should be a waiver wire head, and he'll be useful in bye weeks due to injury, whatever it may be. Ty Johnson will have a role and will be fantasy relevant this season. One other player to mention, Kenneth Gainwell, the rookie for the Philadelphia Eagles, 9% roster. Ty Johnson, by the way, 10% rostered. Kenneth Gainwell, 9% rostered. He's the direct backup to Miles Scott. Understand that. Miles Sanders. Boston Scott is the third down back, the scat back, the pass catching back. If Miles Sanders were to go down, okay, Kenneth Gainwell is expected to take over the lead running back role, maybe that 2-down back role, Boston Scott being the third down back. Now, Miles Sanders has never been a workhorse in and of himself. He's never broken 900 yards. He hasn't looked great. This is a make or break year in a lot of eyes for Miles Sanders. So Kenneth Gainwell at 9% can see his role increase throughout the year, and he is available on the waiver wire. If I were to list these, Phillip Lindsay 1, Ramondre Stevenson 2, Madison 3, Tyson Williams 4, Ty Johnson, and then Kenneth Gainwell. All right, everybody, stay smart, stay safe, stay right here at the RotoBaller YouTube channel, and check out the wide receiver waiver wire show, as well as the quarterback/tight end waiver wire show. We'll see you next time. Give me a follow on Twitter at @Aniano Fantasy. Like I said, stay smart, stay safe. Have a good one, folks.